Hi, my name's Debbie Pendergrast. I'm Business Development Manager here at KeenCut, and I'm going to be doing some test material cutting. So we have been sent in some breathable material and some flex shield. So we've tested it on a few machines. I've used it on the Steel Track, I've used it on the Evolution 3, and the best machine that it performs the best on is actually the Sabre. In particular, the rotary head on the Sabre machine. So I'll just explain a little bit about the Sabre. This is the Sabre. It's a portable machine. We do it in 5 different sizes. This is actually the 1.50 m or the 60-inch length machine. It comes with 3 different types of blade holders. It comes with a medium duty blade holder, a graphic blade holder, and a rotary blade. So I'll explain how to change those. The precision of cut is 1 millimetre of precision over the whole length of the cut. It's a portable machine, so you can actually move it around. It needs to be used on a flat surface. So it could be used potentially on the floor or on a bench, an existing bench or a KeenCut bench, but it can also be mounted onto a stand as it's mounted at the moment. So this is the stand specifically for the Sabre. It comes with a roll holder and a waist catcher, and it's on casters, so it can be wheeled out of the way once it has been used and you are finished with it. It has a cutting groove in it, and as I've mentioned, it has 3 different types of blade holder. But for this specific purpose, we're going to be using the fabric wheel. So to change the blade holder on the vertical action cutting head, this is how you do it. At the moment, we've got the graphic blade mounted, and I need to put the rotary blade on it. So to do that, you simply unscrew and loosen these 2 silver screws, lift the blade holder up and slide it over the screws, and that's dismounted. Now this is the rotary wheel, the fabric cutting head. This has a safety feature. The red guard covers the blade itself, but it can only be installed when the guard is covered. There's a bit of a cutout here, and it needs to be in that position. So the blade needs to be covered by the guard, otherwise it won't actually go on top on the blade holder. So push it down and tighten the screws up. Expose the rotary blade, and now we're good to start cutting. With the Sabre, you do have a feature called a continuous cut. Because of the hinging system, it will actually cut media and material that's longer than itself. So that's a nice aspect. I'm going to remove the blade holders. With the fabric head, because there is a cutting groove in the Sabre on the baseboard itself, we have grip strips that will hold the material securely in place, but we need some support underneath the material that we're going to be cutting because it's very, very flexible. And if we don't have support underneath it, the material will just collapse into the cutting groove and you won't be able to cut it at all. So in order to support the wheel, I'm going to be using a cutting mat. This is just a standard cutting mat. You can also use acrylic. If you score acrylic, or if you're cutting down the same line, you have to make sure that you move the board so you don't actually end up cutting down the same score line, because you might have issues cutting. So I have got my cutting mat, I've got my rotary wheel, and I'm going to be cutting. This is the thick breathable fabric, so I'll just pull it through. And holding the bar in place, and you can see that it's quite happily cut through that. So that's the thicker material, that's the thick breathable material. We have some thinner breathable material. So just going to feed it in. And the same, just press down on the rotary. Make sure the blade's still uncovered. And you have your cut. So it's not stretching the material, it's keeping it nice and flat. For the carbon flex shield, it's the same rotary head, and we've found it actually cuts better with the weave upwards. So we did try and cut it that way as well. It does eventually go through it, but it's really challenging. So it actually cuts far, far better with the weave facing up. But again, you need the support of the cutting mat, and with a bit of pressure on the wheel, you can see that it just cuts really quite easily. If we can get a close-up, you'll see there's absolutely no fray on it at all. So it does cut really easily, and it's a very straight cut. The biggest issue is potentially, with this being tougher material, I'm absolutely no idea how long the blades will actually last on this type of material before they go blunt and you have to start changing them. We did do a test cut on an older wheel. So the older wheel performed quite well. This is one that was changed because it was blunting out a little bit. And we did do some test cuts with this particular wheel. So it was still performing very, very well. And as you can see, there's no fraying at all on the weaving. But again, I'm really, really not sure how long the wheels and the sharpness of the wheels will last for you. They do come in packs of 5, so they are quite easy to be changed. But I guess that's just something that you'll have to discover. But it does cut really easily. Thank you for sending in your material for test cutting. It is a service that we do have. We prefer that you will know how your material performs, or our machines perform on your type of material. We've test cut all sorts of different materials, and at least we can honestly appraise it and tell you whether it works, whether it doesn't work, which particular machine works better. As I mentioned, we did try this with different blades. We tried it on a graphic blade and a medium duty blade, and it frayed, and the rotary head was the only blade that would actually work on the breathable fabric. For more information, you can visit our website at keencut.com. Alternatively, we do have social media channels, and we do have our YouTube video channel also. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.